covering this breaking news that according to Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, they reached a deal tonight with President Trump to enshrine DACA into law and do so within a larger immigration bill that does not contain wall funding. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. I'll show you. So Bloomberg reporter Sahil Kapoor put this out, this joint statement from Schumer and Pelosi on their dinner tonight with the president, heavy on DACA, and it says, Schumer and Pelosi statement on dinner with President Trump, Washington, D.C. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer and House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi issued the following joint statement following a dinner with President Trump in the White House. We had a very productive meeting at the White House with the president. The discussion focused on DACA. We agreed to enshrine the protections of DACA into law quickly and to work out a package of border security, excluding the wall, that's acceptable to both sides. We also urged the president to make permanent the cost-sharing reduction payments, and those discussions will continue. So, you know, first of all, it should be pointed out, the Republicans, this can't become law unless the Republicans agree to it. Republicans control both houses of Congress. So, in theory, the Republicans control, not in theory, in fact, they control whatever passes Congress. So, but according to this, this seems to suggest that the president is on board not just with DACA becoming law, but also he seems to commit here. The key point is he seems to commit here to being willing to go along with an immigration bill that includes DACA and does not include border wall funding. So some people might have thought, well, DACA is supposed to be, he wants DACA to be part of a bigger immigration bill, and that would seem like the time to have the border wall funding in there. But the president seems to be saying here, at least in terms of this bill, where DACA is going to be included, this immigration bill, I'm not going to insist, and there's not going to be any border wall funding. Now, maybe President Trump signs a bill like this and then insists on border wall funding at some other point. That could happen. But that's what, according to Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, he agreed to. Now, there's been some other posts about this, and some people are interpreting this various ways. He does not give up the wall here. He's just saying he's not going to, according to Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, President Trump has agreed to not ask for wall funding in this immigration bill. However, some people, I think, have interpreted this as President Trump is just giving up on the wall. Now, with that in mind, let me show you Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the press secretary, very soon after that came out, issued her own statement. Let me get that up on the screen for you. And it says, while DACA and border security were both discussed, excluding, well, actually, this says excluding the wall was certainly not agreed to. So this actually is a direct, I had my memory wrong. This is a direct contradiction of what Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer said, because she says excluding the wall was certainly not agreed to, but Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer said President Trump did agree with not having the wall be included in the immigration bill in which DACA would be included. So this is literally opposite of what Pelosi and Schumer said. I want to tweet that out. Literally the opposite of what Pelosi and Schumer said. Because she said it was certainly not agreed to, and Pelosi and Schumer said it was agreed to. So, kind of confusing what's going on here. Now also, I have this tweet I saw. Sam Stein tweeted, Democratic aide in meeting on the meeting, a Democratic aide said the president was clear he would continue to fight for the wall separate from this agreement. So very hard to say what exactly is. Very hard to say exactly what is going on here. You know, we have on one side Pelosi and Schumer saying the president said he's cool with having a bill, an immigration bill that makes DACA into law that doesn't contain border wall funding. And then we have Sarah Huckabee Sanders saying, as we just saw, where is it here? This, excluding the wall was certainly not agreed to. So we have two different stories here. I'd be interested in knowing what you think about all this. What do you think about this? Write to me on Twitter, @Lookner. Let me know what you think, @Lookner. See if I have any messages here. James Rose says, according to Sarah Sanders, that information is false. Oh, Brandon Reynolds says Trump just tweeted. Okay, let's see. Let's see what President Trump said. Thank you, Brandon. Well, he didn't tweet on this, Brandon. He tweeted on Hillary Clinton. He said the deplorables came back to haunt Hillary. They expressed their feelings loud and clear. She spent big money, but in the end had no game. So that he just sent out 2 tweets recently, but they had nothing to do with the with the agreement with the Democrats, the supposed agreement. And thank you, JC. JC, you also messaged me earlier talking about, letting me know about that this deal was happening. I just saw your message. Breaker of News says, see, I think Trump is doing a thing called art of the deal. He has about a little bit more than 3 years left in the first term. So I think Trump is doing deals now so things can get passed/done. I won't write Trump off just yet. I'll give him till the end of his term to see what has been done and what has not been done. So we are covering this story now, this breaking news story tonight, that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer claim they have a deal with President Trump that he will accept a bill which contains a DACA being enshrined into law and some other immigration stuff, and it won't have to have wall funding in it. Whereas Sarah Huckabee Sanders is denying this. Please, if you have comments, write to me on Twitter, @Lookner, @LOOKNER. Also know, if you enjoy this breaking news coverage and our breaking news coverage, you know, when I last checked, I didn't even see the networks actually covering this. So CNN is covering Trump's tweet about Clinton, which maybe we can talk about in a little bit. MSNBC is, I don't know what they're doing. Anyways, though, I was actually surprised to see the networks weren't really covering this as like I thought they would. Now, I'm sure maybe they'll talk about it or something. I saw them talk about it a little while ago. But if you enjoy that we come on and do a full broadcast about this and we cover breaking news at all hours, please consider donating, because it's your donations that allow us to do this. Your donations keep us on the air. We cannot be on the air without your donations. So if you want to donate, you can click the $ at the bottom of the YouTube chat room, or you can, speaking of which, I forgot to pop out the chat room so I could have it up here. Okay, that's better. So you can click the $ at the bottom of the YouTube chat room, or you can go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. So I want to get to some more of your messages here. Isaac Barry says, the president could be trying to mess with Nancy Pelosi and Senator Schumer to get what he wants, but he better #build the wall. Proud American says, let's just chill out and wait for the God Emperor's response. Bubba Gump says, remember when Pelosi and Schumer said ACA would save us money and we could keep our plans, doctors, hospitals? How did that work out? Sean Vander says, Steve, don't believe Pelosi, Schumer, or the fake stream media. Wait for Trump to tweet out. By the way, Christine Bestchen gave $2. Thank you, Christine, and says our president is playing 4D chess. Just watch. Love This Nation says if Trump signs DACA before the wall, I will personally resign as a Trump supporter. Luke Wilmoth says Nancy and Chucky lied. Deplorable Texan says not according to other sources. Don't Tap Me Bro says, well, I can't say, he says this is fake news in response to the Sarah Sanders tweet, but I can't tell what he's saying fake news is. Let's see, I'm looking up more comments here. Jennifer Perry says, I hope this is huge fake news, if not a huge betrayal. Jeanette Lefebvre says, it better be a lie because that I won't take. If this is true, I am out. Robert Gonsalves says, unbelievable. Alston Brown says, go read press secretary's tweet. Stop reporting fake news. That's the reason myself, along with any others, follow your account. Well, so just so people know, I did literally retweet the press secretary's tweet as soon as I saw it. I can't anticipate what the press secretary is going to write. And the news about the deal came out before the press secretary said the news about what Pelosi and Schumer said came out before the press secretary said it. So I can only give you these things as I get them in. Andrew Silva says, I need to buy Donald Trump's book, Art of the Deal. Have you read it yourself? No, I have not read it myself, and I keep meaning to read it. I would love to read it just to, I feel like you could understand him better. We've been so busy covering the news here, I have not had time to, but I really would like to do that. Sugary gave $5 and said, thank you, RSBN. Thank you, Sugary. Julie H says, please recap the story. I just saw your notification. So a really quick recap, just so for people who are just tuning in. So first tonight came this message after President Trump met with some Democrats tonight. I think he met tonight with Schumer and Pelosi, I believe. No, well, he was meeting with some Democrats tonight. I don't know if Schumer and Pelosi were there. But anyways, that aside, that's not the important thing here. What's important is the series of statements that came out. And this first statement that came out was, where'd it go? Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer released a statement that said, we had a very productive meeting at the White House with the president. The discussion focused on DACA. We agreed to enshrine the protections of DACA into law quickly and to work out a package of border security, excluding the wall, that's acceptable to both sides. So the key thing here is, according to Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi, President Trump committed to signing a bill that had DACA being made into law, and that bill would not include any wall funding. That's according to Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. But very soon after that, Sarah Huckabee Sanders came out and posted this. While DACA and border security were both discussed, excluding the wall was certainly not agreed to. So this is literally the opposite of what Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi said. Carl Peterson just donated $5 and says, Schumer Pelosi issued a statement and I'll wait for Trump to tweet. Now, President Trump did send out 2 tweets in the last 10 minutes, but neither of them had anything to do with this deal. They both talked about it. I believe they both talked about Hillary Clinton. At least one of them did. And then also a Democratic aide, according to Sam Stein, says, President was clear he would continue to fight for the wall separate from this agreement. So this implies that there was an agreement that, this implies that Schumer and Pelosi are right, but that the president wants to fight for the wall, just not to do it in this bill, including DACA and other immigration stuff. So I leave it to you who to believe. Brandon Reynolds says, let's see here. Maybe I can do this because we have this new information in here. Watch what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to change. I'm going to adjust the headline if I can. I can. I just need 1 second to do it. There we go. Let's see if this fits. Ooh, why did that happen already? That wasn't supposed to happen like that. Well, anyways. Well, I think that's gonna be too big. What if I do this? See, now it says Dems. Trump reaches DACA deal with Pelosi and Schumer. See, it says Dems say that. How about that? Let's see. I want to get back to your messages here. Write to me if you have an opinion on this at Lookner, at Lookner. Robert Woods says, give it till Saturday and the entire content of the meeting will be leaked. Isaac Barry says, I believe the Sarah Sanders tweet before any fake news. BLB Reed says, protecting kids in their 20s and 30s. Why should Americans compete head-to-head with 800,000 plus legalized illegal aliens? Rob Starkey says, people should focus their anger on establishment Republicans for not passing Trump's agenda, like Obamacare, wall, tax cuts, etc. Hashtag MAGA. Kerensky says, this is confusing. Dorinda Cargill says, well, another Dem truth, huh? Now, John Crilly says President Trump sent out a tweet referencing this. So let's see if he did. I don't see any tweet referencing this. I see 3 President Trump tweets and none of them have anything to do with this. 3 tweets in the last hour. James Wagner says, Trump wrote and is the art of the deal. This was all part of a plan. It's going to work out, not worried. CJ says, I sure hope Trump does not turn his back on his supporters who want law and order and to deport the illegals, even the kids. Zach Giannino says, I'm so tired of all these political semantics that both sides are deploying. Isaac Barry says, tell your listeners not to rush to judgment yet. We can't believe Nancy and Chuck as far as we can throw them. Let's see. America First says, if Trump signs amnesty for the illegals, he will forever lose my support because that'll be him breaking a major campaign promise, and I cannot forgive that. By the way, if you want to know when we're coming on the air with these breaking news live updates, which we do all the time, clearly we do it at night too, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and click the notifications bell when you subscribe. Click the notifications bell. That way you'll get notifications whenever we come on the air. You can also follow us on Facebook where we post our videos, Right Side Broadcasting, and on Twitter we're at RSB Network. I am on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner, and I post breaking news all the time if you like that kind of thing. And again, we are viewer supported, so if you enjoy our coverage, please consider making a donation. Even small donations really help. You can donate by going to the YouTube chat right next to the broadcast, clicking on the $ at the bottom of the YouTube chat, or you can go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. Thanks again to the moderators for moderating the chats tonight. Blake Shelton, 1993, says, Michael Savage thinks that true believers in Trump are idiots and thinks Trump just got played, not part of any plan. Everyone for Trump says, I believe this is just to stir a pot. Jose Immigrant for Trump says, for DACA to function, it can't be selective granting benefits to a group of age and situation where the parents end. Everyone for Trump says, you can keep your doctor. Democrats, I wouldn't believe one single thing Democrats say. Everyone for Trump also says, I'm just glad Sarah Sanders tweeted to calm people down a little. BLB Reed says Trump speaks fondly of DACAs and said they have nothing to worry about and will revisit subject if no bill. That means amnesty. Jasmine Ruiz says border security must be #1 priority in immigration reform. If you have any more thoughts on this, give me a shout on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. I'm guessing if there's a briefing tomorrow, there will be a lot of questions about this in the White House press briefing. Rock USA Israel says this better not be true or else I'm done as a Trump supporter. We've heard a couple people say something like that tonight. Let me just see if there's any more updates news-wise about this. Steve King, the congressman, isn't Steve King, am I remembering wrong? Hold on a second. He is pretty conservative, Steve King, if I remember right. Maybe I'm wrong. No, I think I'm right. But anyways, he says, Steve King says, if the Associated Press is correct about the supposed deal, Trump base is blown up, destroyed, irreparable, and disillusioned beyond repair. No promise is credible. That's Congressman Steve King. Benji Sarlin says, and Benji Sarlin is with NBC News, he says, oops, oh, hey, this again. And what he's referring to is his tweet, reminder that there is a long history of people leaving meetings with Trump thinking he agreed to something and then discovering otherwise. I might retweet that. Frank Lund says, President Trump reaches across the aisle again to pledge bipartisan DACA deal without divisive border wall funding. I'm just looking at some other commentary on this. And President Trump has been tweeting, but it's about Hillary Clinton. So he tweeted out 19 minutes ago, the deplorables came back to haunt Hillary. They expressed their feelings loud and clear. She spent big money, but in the end had no gain. He put out another tweet about Hillary too. He said, crooked Hillary Clinton blames everybody and everything but herself for her election loss. She lost the debates and lost her direction. BLB Reed says, hey, Steve, does this shake your faith in Trump? Curious to know. I mean, I would just say we don't know what's going to happen until it actually happens here. So they said they've reached a deal with him. We'll see if it happens. Maybe they didn't. Maybe he reached a deal with them, but he'll change his mind. So we'll have to just see what happens. FNW says, congratulations to Democrats on winning every national election for the next 30 years if this deal is true. CJ says, I wonder why no GOP members were at the dinner. I can't stand McConnell or Ryan. Time for new leaders in the House and Senate to rise up. Weston Jones says, I believe Trump will let DACA pass alone and hope to get wall funded in budget deal. I'm worried he will lose. World War III says, I think the purpose of this is to do exactly what it is doing and frustrate Trump supporters. Zach Giannino says, I appreciate how you engage with the public. Your service for the Republic is more appreciated than what our media provides. Well, I appreciate you guys all writing in and letting us hear what you think. Blake Shelton, 1993, says, I'm still Team Trump, regardless of DACA. Ted Thras says, so what, the wall is coming, but for now there are bigger fish to fry. Patience, people. Having to deal with traitors is an ordeal. And he sent me a little photo, which I'll show you. This is from viewer Ted Thras. If I can find it. Here's what Ted Thras sent me. So I guess Ted Thras is not a fan of these people in this picture. He says they're owned by Soros. J Bone Z says, why did the demo rats care so much for illegals and not for American citizens? This is unbelievable. Cecil Choate says, I really wish they would have had a conversation on the opioid epidemic and agreed on a bill to help the opioid epidemic. Only Liza gave a $20 donation. Thank you, Only Liza. We really appreciate it. We are viewer supported, so that helps us stay on the air. You can donate by doing what Liza did, clicking on the $ at the bottom of the YouTube chat, or going to rsbn.tv/donate. rsbn.tv/donate. We are viewer supported. Your donations are what keeps us on the air. Proud Deplorable said, and I've never seen Pelosi or Schumer flat out lie to harm protests and pander to their base. Just ridiculous to even mention. Jeff Berry says, no law till Trump inks it. Devil is in the details. Trump will get best deal or not sign. Can leverage 2018 primary challenges versus GOP. And note that from what Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are saying is the president agreed. I'll show you what they said, but this agreement, this DACA being approved it's based on, it assumes that they can reach some deal. So if you look at the language here, it says, oops. We agreed to enshrine the protections of DACA into law quickly and to work out a package of border security excluding the wall that's acceptable to both sides. So if they don't work out a package that's acceptable to both sides, this won't pass. So maybe President Trump isn't so sure they can work out a deal on that stuff that's acceptable to both sides. There's still a lot of work to be done. And remember, Republicans still control Congress, so Republicans have to go along with this if it's going to become law. Alex Javier says, we shall see what's really going on real soon. CJ says, I wonder why the politicians who support illegals are not arrested. If I supported a criminal, I would have been arrested. P. Beckwith says, Trump trying to make Senate and House do their job. They won't pass any of it. BLB Reed says, many Americans have lost jobs to illegals. Why do so many side with the lawbreakers against their victims? Timothy Fyock says that Laura Ingraham just tweeted about this. Let's see. She said, Laura Ingraham, the art of the steal. Let's hope that Pelosi and Schumer misrepresented the DACA deal. That's from Laura Ingraham. Sadomasochist gave $2 and said, love listening to these trumpets, freak out. So I guess your name is appropriate, but thank you for the donation, Sadomasochist. David Richard Steer says, remember, Steve, President Trump's campaign promise was to rescind the DACA executive order, which he did. Brandon Reynolds says, look up Rebecca Ballhaus on Twitter. She says no deal has been reached. Yeah, I think she quoted, you know, we already talked about how Sarah Sanders says no deal has been reached. Did she quote Sarah Sanders or somebody else? No, she quoted, so Rebecca Ballhaus says this. She says White House Legislative Affairs Director Mark Short calls Democrats' DACA statement misleading, says no deal on DACA or border wall dollars was reached tonight. And Sarah Sanders said something similar. Guardian of an Angel says, hello, bandwagoneers. You're going to believe Mo and Curly over the president, even now? Fair weather much? So we're going to stay on for a couple more minutes here, but if you do have any comments, please get them in soon. You might want to send them in now. Write to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. Feel free to follow me there if you like breaking news. I'll be posting any kind of breaking news. I hear about this later tonight and tomorrow. Also, you can follow Right Side at RSB Network. And don't forget, subscribe to Right Side Broadcasting on YouTube. Click the notifications bell when you do. That way you'll get notified whenever we come on the air with live coverage of something, live breaking news videos. Also, you can follow us on Facebook too. Couple of tweets here from Maggie Haberman. She said, of the New York Times, she says, official White House statement is that Pelosi Schumer position is untrue, but a White House official tells me Trump has been clear he doesn't need border wall funding tethered to a DACA fix. What we also know is that Trump veered toward Democrats on DACA after receiving tough coverage for backtracking on pledge to preserve it. So we're not exactly sure. Maybe President Trump will tweet later tonight and straighten this all out. Sean Vonder says most, if not all, of those who tweeted they are done with Trump without the details are obvious trolls. I don't know that, Sean. Maybe they genuinely feel that. All right, so anyways, this I'm sure will be discussed a lot tomorrow. There'll be a lot of back and forth about what the president agreed to. And anyways, this all has to get negotiated in Congress anyway, so this story is long from over. But okay, I think we're gonna wrap up the stream right now. But as we reported, the Democrats say one thing. Some people like Sarah Huckabee Sanders say another thing. The Democrats say President Trump has agreed to, in theory, sign a bill that makes DACA into law and doesn't contain border wall funding. Sarah Sanders says that was Huckabee Sanders says that was not agreed to. So I'm sure this will be discussed a lot the next couple days and maybe weeks and months. And we won't know exactly what will happen with this bill until we actually see what happens in Congress. But anyways, I'm glad you all were all able to join me for this tonight. And thank you so much for writing in all of your different comments and letting us hear what you have to think about this issue. Thank you so much to the moderators for moderating the chat rooms. And also, special thank you to everybody who donated. We can't be on the air without donations. Your donations are what makes us able to do this. So thank you for donating. And if you'd like to donate, you can either go to the $sign in the go to the YouTube chat, click on the $sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat, or go to rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate. You can follow me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. And speaking of donations, JC just made a $2 donation saying thank you, Steve, RSBN, and all RSBN family. Thank you, JC. We really appreciate it. Thank you and all the other moderators. Chris R is there tonight. JC. Who else? Did I probably missed some other people. I can't see the whole chat, so that's who I see right now. But thank you so much. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube and click the notifications bell so you get notifications. Follow us on Facebook, Right Side Broadcasting. On Twitter, we're at RSB Network. And really quick, a couple last comments. Devontae Buford says, this better not be true. I almost pooped my pants when I read it. Rob Starkey says, people want the wall, then donate ourselves. 95% of dollars raised go to the wall. He says, AmericaFirstUS.org. It's our tax money anyways. So you can go to AmericaFirstUS.org if you want to check out that link. Rightly News says this story is false. And Daniel Katowski says, we'll know by tomorrow. Trump will be on this pronto. So we'll just have to see what happens. We'll see what happens. But we wanted to come on the air live and report this news to you tonight and let you hear what was happening. So I am Steve Lookner. But I am going to be traveling tomorrow, so I won't be able to come on the air tomorrow. I'm going to Boston to visit family, but I will be setting up some equipment there so that while I'm in Boston, I will be able to live stream and cover stuff. So tomorrow, I apologize for not being able to be on the air. The Michael Anderson Show just gave $1. Thank you, Michael Anderson Show. Very much appreciated. But we will be covering stuff tomorrow. Joe and Jake will be around, and they're going to try to show some of President Trump's trip to Florida tomorrow. So hopefully we can get that on the air. And I'll also, if some kind of huge thing happens, I might be able to like call in on my phone tomorrow or on my iPad. I'm going to be flying for part of tomorrow. But anyways, we will continue bringing you updates about all the breaking news as we do here at Right Side Broadcasting. For now, thank you everybody for watching. This is Steve Lookner. Hope you have a great night, and we will see you very soon here at Right Side Broadcasting.